Hello everybody, ReverendDrRed here. And this video is mainly serving as a purpose of a reminder as well as a warning. I'm seeing a common trend taking place on the internet and the social networks. And this trend that I'm noticing is the fact that a lot of people are paying attention to something for a little while, then when the next big thing happens, that's what everybody's paying attention to. That's a little bit dangerous. We are in an election season. This election is the most important elections of American history. You see, we're at a crossroads. Depending on who we choose to be our president in this election, we are looking at either tyranny and oppression, or we're looking at working on fixing ourselves and staying free. Now, I've noticed how the latest example would be the Colorado massacre, with James Holmes. Everybody paid attention to that for about a week or so, and it started dying down a little bit. Then the Olympics started. Everybody's paying attention to the Olympics. Then we just had another shooting at a Sikh temple. Everybody spent the day paying attention to that. Mars, the Curiosity rover landed on Mars, and now everybody's paying attention to that. Now, granted, I am noticing a lot of people, a lot of mainly conservatives, are managing to value themselves back and forth between the current events and the importance of this election and the fact that we got to get Obama out of there. And I understand not everybody wants to, live and breathe, eat and sleep politics. I understand that. But you need to understand how important this is. So even, I'm not saying that you shouldn't pay attention to other things that are going on in the news. I'm not saying you shouldn't pay attention to your own life. I'm sure, everybody's got rather stressful things going on in their own personal lives. I know I do. But the fact of the matter is, we can't allow these different things going on to draw our attention away from the importance of this election. A lot of people are speculating that there's going to be an October surprise made by Obama's regime that's going to win him over the elections and keep him in office. Now, these are going everywhere from people suggesting that he's going to declare martial law in October so there can't be elections in November, to he's going to get us involved in another war, in which is going to push everybody behind him, because obviously, it's known through history that nobody likes changing presidents during a war situation. Now that the Mars rover has landed, everybody's suggesting that now we're going to find something. They're not saying what, but we're going to find something on Mars, and Obama's going to give himself all the credit for the find. And now everybody is going to get behind Obama for that reason, because whatever we might find, he's going to take the blame for, or the credit for. Blame, yeah, okay. Now, we need to remember, regardless of what is found in Mars, and regardless of what happens in the news today, tomorrow, the next day, next week, next month, we need to remember, come November, that Obama has signed hundreds of executive orders already that successfully gives him control over the entire economy, everything, and everybody. He will now control literally everything, even you. It gives authority to different government agencies to pick people up and redistribute them to work camps, re-education facilities, etc., and so on. There's also the NDAA bill, that I believe I did 2 or 3 videos on it towards the end of last year. I think I have one in November and one in December. I might have one in January done on the NDAA as well. That successfully makes just about everybody in this country, in the government's eyes, a possible domestic terrorist. And they released forms to the different food establishments. Excuse me one second. To these different food establishments, telling everybody if an individual carries multiple phones, if they drink 2 cups of coffee in the morning, all this weird stuff, to pay attention to them, because there's a good possibility that they could be a terrorist. Now, on myself, back when I had my businesses, I carried around 2 cell phones. One was my personal phone my friends and family called me on, and the other one was for the business. More recently, I had 3. One was for the ministry. One was my personal phone for personal calls towards the ministry, if people have an emergency or whatever. The third one was strictly personal use. Anybody that just wanted to call, to chat a little bit, or if they were a family member or a friend or whatever, they would call that line. The other one was strictly for emergencies, and the other one was for the ministry. So when I'm not in the office and there's a call that I need to take, I can pick it up right there. Now I'm down to the ministry phone and my cell phone. So I don't have the 2 or 3 cell phones anymore. But that's besides the point. So now you're going to arrest somebody. So now you're going to arrest somebody, or looking at somebody, who's innocent, based on how many cell phones they have. That's a little outrageous, if you ask me. And then there's the recent Obamacare that went into play. Now, everybody's complaining, mainly the Christians and the Catholics, about the health mandate and the contraception and whatnot. A lot of people are trying to say, well, it might be fair because everybody's being hit with this. Nobody's able to escape it. I say, read the healthcare bill. I know I did a video on this as well. Read the healthcare bill. There are people exempt from Obama tax. The people that are exempt from Obama tax are the Muslims. It specifically states Muslims do not have to cover themselves with an insurance policy through Obamacare. They are 100% completely exempt. So now we got to ask ourselves, well, how come they're exempt from this, but continue to be pushed on every other religious entity and religious individual who owns a small business, etc., and so on, that tries, running a business via their spiritual beliefs? And why do they all have to pay into this or suffer when the Muslims are exempt? It's not very fair now, is it? And then there's the fact that Obama said that all the small businessmen out there, you didn't build that. Somebody else did. Now, I had 3 businesses of my own. Obviously they didn't go that far, because otherwise I still have them. The fact of the matter is, when I had them, nobody helped me. And I was out there by myself, going door to door, passing out business cards, making phone calls, going off to the side at my job to take phone calls from my businesses. And I built them myself. And thanks to different circumstances, some of them via the economy, others more personal, those 3 businesses are now gone. But the fact of the matter is, when I had them, nobody helped me. I was doing all the legwork. And my grandfather also had a deli. He spent 3 years working 7 days a week from like 5, 6 in the morning up until about 10, 11 at night at the deli, trying to get things going before he was able to turn over any kind of profit. So for them 2, 3 years, my grandparents were struggling to get their bills paid. Because you had all the bills on the house, the overhead for the deli, they had to make sure got paid for. It really wasn't making anything. And you just to go ahead and try telling him that he didn't build that. He built that himself. He did all the legwork. So let's remember in November, Obama promised jobs. We have none. Zilch. The majority of the jobs that he's saying he gave us each month over the past 3.5 years came from people dropping off unemployment and people that just gave up looking for work. Now, if you gave up looking for work and if you dropped off the unemployment rolls, how can you be counted? So there's countless thousands of people out there that are still unemployed that aren't even being counted as part of the numbers because they're not on unemployment and they give up looking for work because they haven't been able to find a job yet. So all these, creative jobs and everything, these are all fixed numbers. There's nothing factual about these jobs numbers that's being handed out. If you don't believe me, I suggest you look it up. There's nothing factual about these numbers whatsoever. Obama has been a complete disaster for this country, all the way around. He completely destroyed the military and downsized it, and he's stretching it even further than it already was before he got into office. He's destroyed the economy. He's destroyed the private sector. He's expanding onto the government. Folks, please remember in November, vote for Mitt Romney. If Obama gets back in office, we are seriously looking at a rise of Marxism in this country. We're looking at a rise of tyranny and oppression in this country. If you don't believe me, just wait and see if he gets back in office. I'm telling you. A lot of other people are also speculating that thanks to the executive orders, if he loses the election, because he still has a couple of months in office after the elections before Mitt Romney's inauguration, he's going to declare martial law then. In which case, it'd be up to Mitt Romney to now order Congress and the military to, by force, remove this hijacker in the office. Because come that inauguration day, if Mitt Romney wins the elections, it is no longer Obama's country. That seat will now belong to Mitt Romney. Lots of people are saying. It shouldn't be that hard to figure out where I stand on this, considering my last couple of videos and the few articles up on spiritualmessiahministries.org and ReverendDrRed.com. It shouldn't be that hard to figure out where I stand on this whole thing at all. But I don't feel the necessity at this moment to repeat myself or make it any clearer than I already have at this moment. In the future, I may. Just understand, if Obama gets back in office and or he declares martial law, all these executive orders that he's signed, he's going to take full advantage of. Which means all Christians, Christian followers, Christian pastors, Catholic priests, the whole nine, all your conspiracy theorists, all your gun owners, all your homeschoolers, and the list goes on, are being looked at being arrested because now, according to the government, you are potential domestic terrorists because you have a free mind. You have an open mind. You love freedom and liberty and justice. And that's a threat to tyranny. They can't have that. Now, I understand this all sounds crazy, but you got to understand, over the past 3 years, I've made countless predictions, and every single one of them has come true. No, not all of them are online, but if you go back into some of my videos, I do predict a number of things in the videos that have happened. If you go to the Bible Prophecy and Predictions page on spiritualmessiahministries.org or spiritualmessiahministries.com, you will see a list of predictions, the majority of which have already happened. And I believe there's one that we are witnessing right now. The last one's yet to come. So some of my predictions are online, and they are dated, back to when I said it, before, those that have happened already, before the events even occurred. So if you want the proof, it is all there. Am I trying to call myself a prophet or anything like that? In the sense that you're going to take the word? No. But what's a prophet? A prophet is someone who speaks the word of God. Well, I'm a minister of Christ. I preach the Bible. So in that sense, then yes, I'm saying I'm a prophet. But just please, pay attention. Whether you agree with everything I'm saying or whether you think I'm completely insane, just do me a favor and just Google search all this stuff. Look into it a little bit. Look into the facts that have happened to this country since Obama's took over. We can't handle another 4 years of Obama. If Obama wins this election, there won't be any more elections. He is making himself dictator. If he wins these elections, we are going to wind up becoming the United States, the United Socialist States of America, the USSA. America as we know it will be dead. We still have a chance to save America. That chance is with Mitt Romney. I understand a lot of you people out there, particularly you liberals, but I know many of you conservatives also, are having a little bit of a problem with Mitt Romney. And as I said in a prior video, I too, during the campaigns, had a problem with Romney. I was pointing out everything that was wrong with him. But what are our choices? It's either we chance Obama and everything that everybody fears happening, or we go with Romney, hope at least Romney can keep to his promises, and then in 2016 get a true conservative in the office. Now, if you ask me, putting Romney in office sounds a lot better than putting Obama back in office. Now, how much worse do you honestly believe Romney can make America, as opposed to what will happen if Obama gets back in office? I mean, the statistics speak for themselves. Look at Romney's record and look at Obama's record. Let's put a little bit of faith into what Romney has showed us and what Romney has told us so far during this election campaign. It's time we stop beating each other up and nitpicking over every little thing. It is time that we do what this nation has done since its birth. And that is stand up, stand together, and stand for freedom, for liberty, and for the pursuit of happiness. It is time we stand as a nation and show God that we still have faith. Show each other that we can still work together, that the American spirit is still alive, and save America and get the traitor, the usurper, the dictator-in-chief out of office and put Mitt Romney in office. Get the economy going again. Give rebirth to the private sector. Create countless jobs, because now with Obama out the way, people will be willing to hire. And Romney has promised that he will do everything he can, which will be easier with the Republican House and Senate to vote Republican for Congress, to repeal Obamacare. We know what we're going to get with Obama. So let's get Mitt Romney in office, and let's hold him to his word. He made a promise, a very real, a very important promise to every freedom-loving American. The minute he starts to show that he's not going to keep to that promise, we put the stranglehold on him. Let him know that we're watching. Let him know that we remember about the promise that he made. So yes, whereas I do feel it's important to pay attention to what's going on a day-to-day basis, don't forget about what's been happening the past 3.5 years. And please, remember in November, vote Obama out. Mitt Romney. Vote Romney for 2012. November is only a couple months away, people. If you love your freedom, if you love America, and you want America to return to the greatness that she once was, and the strength that she once had, and the respect she once had from around the world, get Obama out of office and vote for Romney. Whether you are willing to see it or not, this election is our last hope. This election decides freedom or tyranny for the American people. Obama equals tyranny and oppression. Romney equals freedom. Obama equals enslavement. Romney equals freedom. Obama equals misery. Romney equals the pursuit of happiness. Obama equals welfare state, feudalism. Romney equals the chance for all to prosper. Are you catching my drift here, folks? This isn't your typical every 4-year election. We are at the crossroads. We are at the fork in the road. You can either choose to go down the path of tyranny, or you can decide to go down the path of freedom. Obama, tyranny; Romney, freedom. It's as simple as that. Now let's prove to the world that the American spirit is not dead. The American spirit is alive and thriving. And the American people are just as strong as they ever were. The American spirit of 1776 is still alive and is still flowing through the veins of every American in this country. And let's prove that at the ballot box when we get Obama out of office and Romney in office. And the next step, the repealing of Obamacare and every other executive order and tax and unconstitutional legislation that Obama and his regime put into law. over the past 3.5 years. We can do this, but every vote counts. So get out there in November and vote Romney. If you're not registered yet, register to vote and vote for Romney. If you have a child that's 18 years old or older, or a friend that you know has not registered to vote, tell them to register to vote and persuade everybody to vote for Romney. Romney, freedom. Obama, tyranny. It's not that difficult. I'm begging you. And let's also remember, Obama did not kill Osama. SEAL Team 6 did. Our military men did. And whatever this rover discovers on Mars, Obama didn't discover that. NASA did. The scientists controlling that rover did. Don't fall for any of Obama's lies that he may come up with in the near future. Any lies that he's already spewed out of his mouth. And whatever this October surprise everybody's talking about that Obama's going to have to try to secure the election, don't fall for it. I'm begging you to remember in November. Obama, tyranny. Romney, freedom. Obama, un-American. Romney, American. If you want to call yourself a true American, you'll vote for freedom. You'll vote for Romney. God bless.